Would you leave Spurs if you were Harry Kane in search of silverware? How much of a motivation would that be?
It has to be. It has to be 100%. I wouldn't have thought... I mean, I understand it if you want to be a one-club man. I totally get that. And you can be a legend at your football club. But Harry Kane's a driven footballer. I would imagine that he wants trophies. He wants the highest accolades he can possibly get. He wants more golden boots. And you've probably got more chance of getting those if you go to one of the top clubs in England. I just got a hunch that he'll end up at Man City. I can see him scoring a bundle of goals for Pep. I think certainly improves Man City because, let's get it right, I don't think Tottenham are going to be winning the league. I don't think they're winning the league while Harry Kane's in his prime. So he has to move on. If he wants to win the very biggest of trophies, he ain't going to accomplish that at Tottenham.
Stevie, I know we were discussing before. You've actually given this some thought.
Oh, yes.
Tell us what that thought was.
Well, as soon as I was thinking about Kane, I was thinking about Steven Gerrard. And I guess sometimes you forget that Gerrard actually won everything else except a Premier League title. So for him to stay at Liverpool to try and win that one thing that he hadn't won with Liverpool, you can understand. Harry Kane's a different ballgame because Harry Kane has got diddly. Yeah. He's got nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, if they win the League Cup, would that make any difference to him that he may have got some silverware and that would justify to him to stay there? Or if they get nothing this year, which it looks pretty much likely, does he stay or does he go? It's a completely individual thing, and it depends how he feels about Tottenham. If he feels that strongly about Tottenham, then he'll stay there. Like a Totti. You know, Totti...
Is that okay?
I think it's okay because, listen, everybody looks at the career differently, I think.
Right.
You know, some people judge it on how many medals they've got. Listen, there are a load of guys who've got medals who never actually kicked a ball in either the finals or played many games. So it depends how you look at your own career. Is it about what you did with your teammates, with your club? Is it about all those things? Or is it just about silverware and trophies and medals? Not everybody's the same.
So, Jules, he's got 3 years left on his contract. Spurs would make a lot of money from selling him this summer. Where do they stand on this situation?
I think if you're Spurs, you don't want to see him go because you can't replace him. If you're Spurs, even if you get 200 million, let's say, from Manchester City, and I'm not sure City have the money, I'm not sure how much City fancy negotiating with Daniel Levy either, but let's say that they make a deal for 200 million. Where'd you go from there? If Spurs lose him, they lose far more than just a striker and their best player. They lose someone who they would never be able to replace with the same amount of gold, the same profile. They won't be able to go and find that. So they would have to go young striker with a lot of promise, with a promising future, and that's not a gamble, but for how long will he have to wait until he becomes a top striker, for example? So if you're them, you don't want to let him go. If he wants to go with everything that he's done for that club, I think you have to open the door, though. But I think it will be a long saga, a long summer if he decides to leave.
Don, just on the point that Stevie was making, Stevie obviously walked into a Liverpool side that won so much and continued to win so much with him in the squad. So maybe, I don't know, do different players judge their careers in different ways? Like, do you look back and wish you would move somewhere where you had the chance of winning more?
Absolutely. No, I mean, listen, when you watch the stories of Totti and the guys who have stayed at a club and Gerrard all their life, you have to admire that. But as Stevie said, these guys are winning trophies along the way. I mean, in all honesty, if Harry Kane wants to be regarded as one of the very best that's ever played the game, I think you then have to add medals to your game. I do. I think if Harry Kane wants to be a Spurs legend, you stay where you are, you enjoy that, you get the adulation of the fans, they absolutely adore him. It's not as easy as what Jules was saying about, you know, in an ideal world, if Tottenham got big money, they couldn't replace him. The difference is if Harry Kane knocks on the door to Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho in the summer and says, listen, I've given good service to this football club, I want to try something different, I need a move, I want to move, then Tottenham have to sell him. It's as simple as that. Then you've got to go into Europe and find who's going to pay the most amount of money and where you would like him to go. Tottenham might want to not sell him to Man United or Man City. It might be easier for them to broker a deal to Real Madrid or Barcelona. They wouldn't want to sell him to a rival. Look, when Van Persie left Arsenal, left Arsenal the year later, he wins the title at Man United. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen from Arsene Wenger and Arsenal to allow a top player to go to a rival and win the Premier
John,
League.
they're not obliged to sell him, though, are they? They'll say, look, you've got 3 years left on your contract.
Well, they're not obliged, but listen, when you're Harry Kane and you knock on the door, if he knocks on the door, and he says, I've given this club the amount of service and I've been hitting the back of the net every single season, and I've tried my utmost to get us to finals and win us trophies. You've done nothing really, apart from appoint a few managers to try and help us. But Daniel Levy, over the years, hasn't spent, ridiculous amounts of money on the playing squad. All right, he's built a brand new, shiny new stadium. Harry Kane's not bothered about that. He's not bothered whether he plays at Tottenham or he's winning championships at Man United or Man City. At the end of the day, as Stevie said, you've got to look after your career, and he's getting bang into his prime now, and in 3 or 4 years' time, he won't be in his prime. What do you want to be, a Tottenham legend, which if he is, good luck to him, or do you want to go to Man City, Man United or elsewhere and put some trophies in your cabinet?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.